In 1997, Naomi wrote these words: "Educational establishments are not themselves learning but teaching institutions." And she spoke of the monopoly schools, colleges and universities feel they have over knowledge and over the delivery of training and education. She spoke of the suspicion of change and the fear and the feeling of loss that was permeating the system, that she saw as going hand in hand with the growth in the use of technology. They fear, she says, it may do them out of jobs. Visionary and spot on as ever, Naomi. I want to talk about the cultural divide, not the digital divide, and I was very interested, Auntie, in your comment about this is bigger than institutions, because I want to argue that this debate, this issue, is bigger than the policymakers, government, than the educational institutions, whether that's colleges, schools, universities. And I want to argue that all of us, to varying degrees involved in that world, spend our lives protecting our orthodoxies. We are committed to elitism, whatever we say. Yes, every so often, history allows us to open a few doors and let a few more people into our secret garden of being an educated population, but we shut them pretty quickly. And even now, when we look, for example, with higher education, getting close to mass higher education, what are the tags that are constantly attached to a university like mine? You know, Mickey Mouse degrees, and so on. Only last Sunday in the Sunday Mail, which I hasten to add I don't read, just lots of my staff sent me copies of, a well-known commentator was doing an article about Stoke, where I'm based. Wedgwood has just gone to administration. He was bemoaning this, and he said, and I wonder what has been done by Stoke's so-called university. Well, we have been training people for 100 years, high-level training. We've been giving degrees for 40 years. You can't win. Now, it is that elitism that actually permeates the whole system that I really want to spend a moment looking at. I think one of the most exciting things of work that I've done with Naomi, with NIAS, has been really championing informal learning. And what we have when we do have access to IT, when there is digital access, and I agree we've got to fight hard to have that really widely spread, is we have informal learning, we have new kinds of learning. What I fear that our institutions will do is try to regulate it. David Blunkett started this evening by saying governments can't regulate it. None of us can, and we are so frightened of it. Oh, we'll write to students with emails, we say, or we'll put all our lecture notes on virtual learning environments. Actually, the world in which those who are digitally tuned in are living is a world which will totally challenge and turn our world upside down. And it is very, very exciting. And where, if we look at the invention of printing and the long, hard struggle the establishment has had to limit either literacy until the Industrial Revolution decides it's good that workers know how to read instructions on machinery, but even then, to make sure that those who are literate enter the world of the cognoscenti. This is not like more literacy. This is a world where people have their own language, they have their own understanding, where the divide between high and popular culture starts to get merged, where nobody owns knowledge, where nobody owns the right to teach. And it is a very exciting world. My fear, besides the fear that we all share, that this will be even more exclusive and more elitist, is that actually we will go really headlong into being very excited about people being able to book their holidays on their telly. Now, I think capitalism will regulate its market and people will learn to do things like that. What I'm interested in is people accessing ideas and communications, remembering that the web is international, and it is giving to people who, in my experience, have no formal learning and would express no interest in formal learning, a whole new way of talking to people they would never have once spoken to and looking at the world in different ways. So we've had, I don't know, since what, 1440 and Gutenberg's press, we've had all this time to kind of defend orthodoxy against literacy. I think there are a few of us now dedicated to make it different as the web and cyberspace does take over.